A common question people have is, what's the difference between Mat Pilates classes and Pilates on the Reformer? So we're going to take the time to answer that question right now. Pilates mat classes started with the classic 34 exercises that Joseph Pilates outlined in his book, Return to Life. And since the creation of the Pilates method, really we have evolved Pilates mat classes beyond just the classic 34 sequence. And for a really good reason. There's a lot of focus on breathing, on moving through the spine, on ab work, core work, back, a little bit into the legs and arms as well. But because most of the exercises are done down on the mat, it doesn't offer as well-rounded of a workout as it can when we start adding in different exercises and more standing work as well. And sometimes what can happen if you just stay with the same exact exercises and routine is the easy exercises always stay easy and the more challenging exercises always stay really hard. So we aren't finding ways to make Pilates work for you right now. It's because we can really add variety in a lot of different ways with your Pilates mat workout, like a kneeling push-up or bent legs for teaser to make an exercise easier. You can also make an exercise more challenging by adding a different option, like the 100 with the twist, or by adding in a small piece of equipment like a magic circle, which we use all the time in a studio. Or a resistance band. Yep, we use this all the time in a Pilates studio too. So small pieces of equipment can add more variety into your Pilates mat workouts, which mean that you can do more exercises, add more challenge, or offer more support. And speaking of variety, challenge, and support, this is what we can do on the Pilates Reformer. And not just the Pilates Reformer, but the Pilates Tower, which is a variation of the Pilates Cadillac, the Wounded Chair, different barrels, such as the ladder barrel. Now, wait a minute. I thought we were supposed to be talking about Reformer Pilates. And here's the thing. As a comprehensive Pilates teacher, if I just gave you the difference between Reformer Pilates and Mat Pilates, that wouldn't even be the entire Pilates method anyways, because of all these other pieces of equipment. So maybe the true question is, what is the difference between Pilates done on the larger pieces of equipment and Mat Pilates? Pilates done on the larger pieces of equipment primarily uses springs, and this offers a very unique and dynamic experience. The springs can offer more challenge with some exercises, and opposite of that, it can provide an immense amount of support for some exercises. So the equipment is there to add more variety or options to the exercises, and so you can move more optimally with the exercises as well. It can help engage muscles, can help to strengthen or stretch the body, and also help you feel more supported to release tension. And when you release tension in movement patterns with exercises, this can trickle into everyday movement patterns as well, which is why we focus on mindfully moving with the Pilates method and not just pushing through an exercise in a way that's not beneficial for your body. So with Reformer Pilates or Pilates done with larger pieces of equipment, you can do the same exercises in different ways. In the Pilates studio, if someone's having a challenging time with the teaser exercise, which is very common, we may bring that to the tower or Cadillac, so it offers more support. Or we may do a mat-supported variation. You can do the same exercise on the Reformer as well. And one of my goals with Trifecta Pilates is to bring you the studio experience to your very own home, even if you never move with the Reformer or tower or another piece of larger equipment. And there are so many Pilates mat exercises and classes that you can move with that give you that studio feel. In this way, it adds variety and ensures for a more well-rounded workout program. So the question is Mat Pilates really as good as going to the studio and working out on the larger pieces of equipment? After years of moving on the Pilates equipment and teaching in a Pilates studio, I can honestly say that when you focus on Mat Pilates workouts, they're just as beneficial, if not more, than moving on the Reformer or tower or any other larger piece of Pilates equipment. When I ignored the bigger pieces of equipment and focused on Pilates mat workouts, really the foundations, beginner and level 1 work, all of the exercises in Pilates became easier. And that's because within the more challenging Pilates exercises, there's always foundational level exercises embedded into that exercise. Exercises like magician and balance control back, which balance control back is really like leg pull back on the mat. Are you seeing that the exercises done on the equipment are looking pretty familiar to the exercises that you can do on the mat? Bingo! There really are so many mat Pilates classes and exercise variations that we can do to replicate what we do on the Pilates equipment in the studio. And with Pilates mat exercises, since you can't just rely on the springs, and trust me, people cheat themselves out of a good workout by relying too much on the equipment. You'll get stronger, more flexible, mobile, your balance will improve, and overall you'll feel better in body, mind, and spirit. So the point of all of this is that Pilates is Pilates. Whether you prefer to do Pilates on the Reformer, or mat Pilates, or tower Pilates, or chair Pilates, and the list can go on. But here's my challenge to you. If you've only ever focused on moving with Pilates on the equipment, try mat Pilates more consistently. It's going to help out your practice with the equipment. It's going to help you more off the mat as well. And after all, Joseph Pilates wrote a book on the mat exercises. If you're looking to try a Pilates mat class, check out my recommendation here.